Feeling lost in your 20s is one of the most frustrating experiences you can go through because nobody warns you how confusing this decade is going to be. You grow up believing that the moment you hit adulthood, life will start making sense. You'll know your path, you'll know who you are, you'll know what you're supposed to be doing. But then your 20s arrive, and suddenly it feels like you're living in the middle of a fog. You're not sure if you're doing the right things. You're not sure if you picked the right direction. And every day feels like you're trying to figure out a puzzle with half the pieces missing. The truth is, you're not behind. You're not failing. And you are absolutely not alone. More people in their 20s feel lost than people who feel secure, but nobody admits it out loud. The real problem isn't that you're lost. The real problem is that you expected not to be. From a young age, you were fed the idea that your 20s were supposed to be the decade where everything falls into place. Adults made it seem simple. Finish school, pick a career, start working, find a relationship, get your life in order. But when you finally arrive in this decade, you realize something major. None of those people actually had their lives together either. They were guessing. They were improvising. And now you're doing the exact same thing. You're not failing. You're just experiencing the reality that everyone else hides. A huge reason people feel lost in their 20s is because they're living with a blueprint that no longer exists. The world your parents grew up in is gone. Back then, you picked one career and stayed in it for 40 years. You bought a house young because prices were human. You could support a family on one income. That world doesn't exist anymore, but the expectations stayed the same. So you're being asked to achieve things that aren't even possible in today's world. No wonder you feel like you're doing something wrong. You're following outdated rules for a game that completely changed. And then there's social media, which pours fuel on your insecurity every single day. You see people your age traveling through Bali, posing in Dubai, starting companies, getting promotions, hitting the gym every morning, smiling in perfect relationships, and buying things you can't even imagine affording. You scroll through highlight after highlight, and you start to think you're the only one living in the real world. But what you're seeing isn't their life. It's their curated performance. You see the photo, not the stress. You see the vacation, not the credit card bill. You see the success, not the 20 failures that came before it. You see the smiles, not the pressure. You see the one moment they wanted to show, not the hundreds they didn't. You're comparing your real life to someone else's staged moment. Of course you feel lost. You're comparing raw reality to polished fiction. Another reason your 20s feel so overwhelming is because you have too many options. People think choices equal freedom, but too many choices create paralysis. Every decision feels like it could be the wrong one. You could pick the wrong job, the wrong degree, the wrong person, the wrong city. And because of this, you hesitate. You stall. You freeze. You feel stuck not because you're incapable, but because the weight of picking the right thing is crushing. You're not lost. You're overwhelmed by possibility. There's also the pressure. Pressure from parents who want you to be stable. Pressure from friends who look like they're ahead. Pressure from society that expects you to succeed early. Pressure from your younger self who thought you'd have everything figured out by now. And you're in the middle of all of it, trying to balance expectations that are impossible to meet. You're being pulled in every direction and judged for every move you make. It's no wonder your mind feels scrambled. Another reason you feel lost is because you don't really know yourself yet. And this is normal, no matter how old you think you are. Self-discovery doesn't happen automatically just because time passes. You get to know yourself by trying things, failing at things, changing your mind, meeting different people, working different jobs, exploring environments, learning what drains you and what energizes you. If you haven't lived enough life yet, of course you don't know who you are. You're not supposed to. Your 20s are the decade where you take the raw, unshaped version of yourself and start sculpting it. That process is messy and confusing, but it's necessary. What makes this decade even more challenging is the expectation that you're supposed to be doing amazing at all times. Every message you see online tells you to hustle harder, make more money, look better, live bigger, build a business, travel the world, find your passion, be productive, be confident, be emotionally stable, and be successful, all before you've even figured out how to properly file your taxes. It's insane. No human can meet those standards. But you believe you should, and when you inevitably fall short, it feels like failure. You're chasing an impossible version of adulthood that doesn't exist. Something else people misunderstand is how much structure matters. People in their 20s often think they lack motivation. They think they're lazy or unproductive or undisciplined. But in reality, most people don't lack motivation. They lack stability. They don't have routines. They don't have systems. Their sleep schedule is chaos. Their habits are inconsistent. And without structure, even the smartest, most capable person feels directionless. You can't rely on motivation to guide your life. Motivation comes and goes. Structure keeps you steady even when your mind doesn't feel like it. There is also the constant noise around you. You're absorbing opinions from everywhere: your parents, your friends, influencers, co-workers, strangers online. Everyone has something to say about what you should be doing. And when you listen to everyone else for too long, you eventually lose track of your own voice. You stop asking yourself what you want, and instead you chase what looks good on paper, or what sounds impressive, or what other people approve of. Feeling lost sometimes isn't a lack of direction. It's simply being disconnected from yourself. The more noise you let in, the less you hear your own intuition. One of the biggest hidden reasons people feel lost in their 20s is because they're going through a transition. You're outgrowing your teenage identity, but you haven't grown into your adult identity yet. You're in the space between versions of yourself. And that space always feels like confusion. It feels like losing yourself, when really you're evolving. You're shedding the old version of you, but you don't yet know who you're becoming. And that in-between stage can feel terrifying. But every major transformation in life feels uncomfortable before it feels right. Another thing nobody tells you is that growth often looks like failure while it's happening. You might feel stuck, but you're actually learning. You might feel behind, but you're actually building the foundation for your future. You might feel confused, but confusion is the first step before clarity. You're absorbing lessons, gaining experience, and developing resilience even when you feel like nothing is happening. The growth is silent, but it's happening. And finally, many young adults feel lost because they keep waiting for the perfect moment to start. The perfect moment to change, to improve, to take a risk, to go after something they want. But that perfect moment doesn't exist. Your 20s aren't built on big, dramatic breakthroughs. They're built on small steps, small habits, small decisions that quietly compound over time. You don't need to know the whole path. You just need to take the next step, and then the next one. And slowly, without realizing it, things start to make sense. So if you're in your 20s and you feel lost, here's what you need to understand. Nothing is wrong with you. You're not behind. You're not failing. You're simply in the chapter of life where confusion is normal, uncertainty is normal, change is normal, and not knowing what you're doing is completely normal. This is the decade where you build yourself, not the decade where you need to be finished. You're evolving. You're learning. You're becoming someone new. And becoming someone new always feels confusing before it feels clear. You're standing in the empty space between who you used to be and who you're going to become. And that space always feels like being lost, right before life finally starts to click into place. Before you click away, I want to leave you with something important. Feeling lost in your 20s is not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're growing. And if this video helped you feel even a little more understood or a little less alone, then make sure you stick around. I'm building this channel for people who want honesty, clarity, and real guidance without the fake, polished nonsense you see everywhere else. If you want more videos that break things down in a simple, real way, then go ahead and like this video so more people can find it. And if you're someone who's trying to figure out life step by step, piece by piece, hit subscribe. I've got a lot more coming that will help you navigate everything from money, to mindset, to purpose, to the quiet struggles nobody wants to talk about. This channel is only just getting started, and I want you to be part of it as it grows. So join me, stay tuned, and remember, you are not behind, you are not alone, and you're not done becoming who you're meant to be. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.